Hi guys, it's Chris from daxtrader.co.uk and I'm going to provide a tutorial video for short-term trading or using a short-term trading strategy for the DAX, which can also be used for any other index or forex pair or commodity, okay, whatever you'd like to trade. You can use this strategy on more than one at a time, so you can go between them because it's not going to be hundreds and hundreds of trades a day that this is going to provide, so you might want to use it with other pairs as well. Okay, so the strategy itself uses two indicators that you're going to need to be familiar with, which is the Bollinger Band and the RSI, Relative Strength Index. We're going to use the 1 minute chart, and we're going to need to know two other things as well. First of all, you're going to need to have a basic understanding of risk management in terms of risk-reward ratios or reward-to-risk ratios, and making sure that you're always setting stop losses and take-profit targets. I know it's a bit boring, a bit belt and braces perhaps, but it's extremely important with this particular strategy because otherwise you're going to lose more than you win, and that's not acceptable. So, the indicators themselves, as we know, are the Bollinger Band and the RSI. These are the levels you'll need to choose. So for the Bollinger Band, you're going to set yourself a 34 and 3. The default is 20 and 2. So we're going to change those numbers. And on the RSI, the default is 14. We're going to keep that. But the overbought and the oversold levels we're going to change. They're normally 70 and 30. We're going to make them 80 and 20. Okay, so I need to assume that you know how to set those up on your chart. There's lots of other videos to show you how to do that on your charting system if you're not too sure. Next thing you need to know is the underlying trend of whatever it is you're trading. And this is on the bigger picture, not just within the last 5 minutes, but we're talking over the last sort of month or so, or weeks at least. And on the DAX, we could go all the way back to the 16th of October, really, and we are in a bull market. Okay, we've had a decent channel that we've been trading in ever since then, and life is good if you are a bull. Okay, so that means one thing. We have to be aware of the rules of this trading strategy. If you're in an uptrend, you only buy. If you're in a downtrend, you only sell. If the market is ranging and choppy, then use a different strategy. Okay. Now, for a buy, you need to be in a bullish market, as we know, we just said. Two things need to be hit. The lower Bollinger Band must recently have been touched, and RSI needs to be under 20. If both of those conditions are met, then buy. Once you've bought, you have to set your take profit and your stop loss straight away. And you can choose whatever you like is your limits, whatever you want to choose, but just keep it consistent. Or, what makes this a strategy and not a system is that you can be flexible with it. If you've had a lot of volatility recently, you might want to have a slightly wider stop loss. If action's been quite tight, you could get away with a really tight stop loss. I'll leave that to you. There's no right or wrong answer. Just make sure you're setting them, basically. For the purpose of the video, let's just go with, 20-40. Okay, so a 20 pip stop loss and a 40 pip take profit target. You want to go for at least 2 to 1. Okay, so whatever your stop loss is, double it and go for at least that as a take profit, ideally more than that. Okay, because you are going to lose a few of these trades. They're not all going to win. This is not a proven formula to win every time, so you need to build that into your profit targets. You need to let your winners run. Don't get anxious and cash them out too early, because you will end up a loser. You'll end up losing more than you win. Okay, so that's for buying. Now, we're assuming that this is because the DAX is in a bull market at the moment, but obviously we are going to see times where we are in a bear market. And for a sale, as in to go short, the upper Bollinger Band must be hit and the RSI needs to be over 80. Now, you can trade this strategy however you like, but I don't recommend selling when you're in a bull market, and I don't recommend buying when you're in a bear market using this strategy. If you do, it might skew your results. So that's it. I think the only other thing just to be aware of is that what I like to also do with this strategy is set my besides setting my stop loss and take profit targets, I like to move my stop loss to break even once I've gained at least my stop loss in profit. So in this case, let's say it's 20 pips stop loss I'm going to use. As soon as I've gained 20 pips, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. That de-risks the trade, so I can't lose. All I can do is gain. Win-win. Okay, so let's take a look at it on the chart first, and then we'll go and have a look at it live as well. We'll see it live trading. All right, so let's see if there's any opportunities to trade this. Okay. A lot of volatility there, not the best example. But let's just use it as an example anyway. Okay, so we've got here, oops, move these lines. We've got here a point where we know we're in a bull market, so we're looking for the lower Bollinger Bands to be hit, basically. So if we look and followed the price action, we touch the Bollinger Band there. So the next thing we do is look at the RSI. Are we below 20? No, we're not. Okay, we'll move on. Move to the next one. We touched it there. Are we below 20? No, we're not. So we move on. We touched again here. Are we below 80? No, we're not. We've just gone below 80 here. So you could say that we're going to enter into a trade at that point there. So I'm just going to draw a vertical line just to mark that up. At that point right there. Okay. So at this moment, we would have entered into a trade to go long. So we draw a horizontal line, say we got in there. Now we need to set our levels. So we were going for 2040, I think we said. So for 20, we're going to set a stop loss 20 pips down. So what's that? 36. So there's your stop loss. And to go higher, 40 pips up that, you want to get 98.96, I think. 98.96. Okay, so we entered in here. It continued moving down a little bit, but leveled off. Up we went, and we hit our take profit target. Happy days, 40 points. Okay. So then we move on to the next opportunity. So let's just take a look at the next one. So we get back in, we get pretty much up to the moving average again, and then we start to come down. So we touched the Bollinger Band there. That would have been really quite quick. So by the time we actually put a trade on, we probably didn't get into it. Well, for a little bit further, but let's just say we did anyway. Let's just say we got in here. That's a huge candle, so that's a lot of volatility, which means you might want a slightly wider stop loss, but for the sake of the video, let's just say it was 20 again. And we'll just put this into, what would that be? So 96.32, as you can see. I mean, that is a huge candle in comparison to the other ones. 20 points is next to no space at all. I mean, you can easily see that we got stopped out on this trade, but let's just say we just marking it off anyway. So we entered in here. You know, in all realistic honesty, we might not have actually been able to enter into the trade till there because it happened so quickly. But we got in here. We got stopped out. Our take profit target would have been somewhere up there, wherever. But again, so we won the first one. We lost the second one. Move on to the next. Prices resorted back to roughly the moving average up to the mean again. So we look for another opportunity where it's touched the lower band. It might have touched it here in real time, but on the chart, obviously, these are lagging indicators and they change during the day. But let's just say if that was a touch, it didn't get the RSI down here, so we can ignore it. Again, we'll keep moving, wait for another lower Bollinger Band touch. We're going up, so it's touching we're sort of rolling the top bands. Like, for example, here, you touch the top band, but I wouldn't be interested in that. I'm only looking at it touching the lower band because we're in a bullish market. Okay, I actually did enter into a real trade there, and I've got that still open at the moment. Okay, we've got a touch here, but the RSI is nowhere near 20, so we'll ignore that. We've got another one there. No, near the 20. Probably in real life that would have been a Bollinger Band touch, but the Bollinger Band is spread out a little bit. But we'll ignore it. Nothing has happened. Almost got below 20 there, but without the Bollinger Band touch recently, wouldn't have been a trade. Bollinger Band to the upside, doesn't matter, ignore it. Almost a touch there. Almost a touch there. Is a touch there. Okay, so looking at that one, down at the Bollinger, nope, didn't get below 20, so it's not a trade. Would have worked out quite nice, but didn't hit the conditions. So hopefully that sort of makes sense. It's a Bollinger Band touch there. It's not below 20. We don't enter the trade. And we just look for an opportunity. So I'm just going to scroll that forward, see if there actually were any. Possibly there wasn't. There weren't. Okay, but that gives you an idea of how to do it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look and see how this works real time. So let's go and load up a fresh chart. And what have I got here? So I've got an RSI. I'm just going to quickly tweak the RSI here to the levels I want. I think we said 2080. You can choose these figures to be whatever you like. I would say the higher the better, or the higher for this one and the lower for that one the better. Don't leave them at 3070 though if you can. All right, 1 minute chart. Now I'm having to use, you might have noticed already, the dollar yen as a pair. The reason I'm doing this is because I haven't found a way for this particular simulator to give me DAX data. So just ignore the figures, I suppose, for the moment, and just assume that it's DAX price action. It's the same strategy. You can use it on anything you like, but when the DAX goes up, this pair goes up normally, or certainly at the moment, and when this pair goes down, DAX goes down. So there's a bit of correlation between them, but it will just give you a feel for how to apply the strategy, at least anyway. Okay, so the data is from the 14th of January. I'm going to press play. I'm going to speed it up a little bit to get some data on the chart. Here we go. Okay, Bollinger Band starting to draw, and the RSI starting to draw. So, imagine this is a real day. We've got minute data, which I'm going to be speeding up as we're going. We're going to be looking for live trades. Now, this could backfire on me here because I might not have any trades, or they might all be losers. But what I'm hoping is that it's going to work like it would do if you were trading live. Okay, so we're in a bullish market. We're assuming this is DAX data, okay, ignoring the fact that it's dollar yen. We're in a bullish market. The Bollinger Band at the top has been touched, which means we ignore it. We're only looking for it to touch the lower Bollinger Band. So might even need to speed this up even faster. Hope you don't mind being patient. As traders, unfortunately, it's one of the things we have to do. Let me just see if I can make that automatic. So, here we go. All right, what do we got here? I think I don't really like the system. I can't tell whether that went below 20 or not. But I'm going to assume it didn't. I'm going to assume that that's actually just touched 20. We did get a Bollinger Band touch here and here, all the way down actually, but it needs to go below 20, and I don't think it has. I can't see anything below that, but then my eyesight's not the best. But I'm going to assume that it hasn't. I'll wait for another opportunity to get in. Oh, we could have got into a trade there. Would have worked out all right. Maybe. Well, maybe not, because we're already back at the average now. But we wait for another opportunity. So, we'll speed it up. So there was almost a Bollinger Band touch there. Bollinger Band touch to the upside here, but we'll ignore that. It's gone through the median line, started to move to the downside. Slight pullback, bit of consolidation. I mean, you can't really analyse 1 minute data like that. It's okay. So we're starting to get a bit of a move to the downside at the moment, which is good if you're in a bullish market. So it means you might be getting a dip. Okay, what about this? That is very close again. We had the Bollinger Band touch. I don't think that's gone below 20, so it's not an opportunity to trade there. So as good as it might look, it's not an opportunity to trade it just yet. Ah, there we go. Right, that was. So, it's pretty tight though. Okay, if we assume that this was an opportunity to get into the trade, we had a Bollinger Band touch fairly recently. I think you've got to set yourself how far back you can go, and I think probably 15 to 20 minutes. If it touched within a 15 to 20 minute period, it would be acceptable. That's probably about 10, maybe 15 minutes. So if we get in there, and let's say we bought, where would that have been? Let's say we bought there. Okay. Now, it's 116.70. Now, our figures are 20 stop loss and 40 take profit. So that's nice and easy. It's a nice round number. So we're looking at 116.50 in this case and 117.10, I guess. Yeah, from here. If we got in at that particular point, which we would have done because it touched and it met our conditions, we've set our limits. The only reason we missed it is because I had it sped up so fast that I couldn't get there in time. Okay, so now we wait. And I guess the original rule was that if you get to the 20 point in profit, you would move your stop loss to break even. So we would have done that. We would have moved it to the break even point when it was around about there. And then if it comes down, touches it, you just get stopped out for nothing, which is fine. But in this particular case, we've gone through and we've hit our take profit target. Happy days. So on to the next. 40 points to the good. Going to speed it up even more. Okay, it's getting close. Didn't get that. Speed it up even more. Okay, it's been a fairly quiet morning if this was us really trading. Okay, so where do we get to? Let's have a look. Speed it up. Bollinger Band touches, but we didn't get below 20. So as you can see, there's a lot of patience with this particular strategy. You might have to wait every now and then. But this is why you can use it on multiple pairs and indices and all different kinds of places. There was a Bollinger Band touch here, but we didn't get into oversold territory. Okay, let's just assume that that was below. I mean, you can already see now it would have been a win, but if that was below, you had a Bollinger Band touch here. If that was below 20, you'd have gone in for a long trade there. 20 pip stop loss, 40 pip take profit, and maybe actually no, that's not. Well, actually, that is not necessarily a guaranteed win there. So let's just try it. Let's assume we got in at 90 just because it's easy to do it then. And our stop loss will be down here. And our take profit is going to be up there. Maybe a bit more. Let's go for more. Let's go for like that many. So there's more than 2 to 1 there. Let's go for it. See what happens. Speed it up a little bit more. Okay, so we're more, oh, it looks like we got touched out. What I was going to say is we're more than 20 points up here, so we would have moved our stop loss to break even. And it's looking likely this one's going to get accepted. If not, worst case scenario, we get stopped out of break even. You could say that was that it hit the profit target there, but it just depends where you put your stop loss. I mean, let's just move it a bit higher, and so it hasn't. And we'll ride it even higher still. And we'll just move our take profit target to our stop loss to, I don't know, there. And we'll keep moving that up. So there's a new sort of higher or lower high. Oh, there we go. We get stopped out at this point. So you can kind of manage it, the trade, however you want to manage it, basically. So let's just get rid of these. Let's look for a new opportunity to get in. So not quite a Bollinger Band touch there. Bollinger Band touch to the high, but we're not going to be interested in that. So let's just speed it up a little bit more. Let's wait for another opportunity to trade. Bearing in mind, obviously, time-wise, you're not going to be trading 24 hours a day, but this video is really just designed to show you how to use the strategy. Okay, so we've got Bollinger Band touch, immediate bounce. Excuse me. I mean, you could even just look at, if you really wanted to be aggressive with this strategy, you could just trade the Bollinger bounces and just ignore the RSI. But that's really aggressive, and you've got to be careful with your stop lossing. Okay, another Bollinger bounce. Another one. Another one. Starting to pinch here. So maybe there's going to be... Oh, there's the move. Okay. Right, stop. This one here. So that did just break below the 20 line. And we would have got in about there. So let's just say we actually didn't get in until 50 for whatever reason. So 20 points is there. 40 points is there. Let's see how that plays out. If we get to where 70, then we can move our take profit, our stop loss to break even. Excuse me. Okay, that looked like that was going to get us taken out there. So we've already been in, but yep, the rule is you get to 20 into the upside, you de-risk the trade. Excuse me. So that's been de-risked. Now, are we going to have nothing or 40 profit? It's not a bad spot to be in, is it? And there you go. Take profit was hit there, so we can get rid of these. You could have ridden that one and you just kept moving your stop loss up and up and up and up and up. The joys of going long in a bullish market. Bollinger Bands are pinched. At some point we're going to have a breakout. The breakout strategy is another strategy to trade, and it works very, very well. And there's a quick guide of what it would be. There's your lines. You buy above, you sell below. Whichever way it breaks, you're going to follow. But that will be another video. Okay. This is overnight trading by the looks of it. Right, guys, that is the end of that's Friday. That will be what that is. So we've gone through a couple of days of data there, and we are at the end. That gives you an idea of how to use the Bollinger Bands and the RSI for the short-term trading strategy. I hope that all made sense. Leave a comment if you like what it is. Leave a like if you like what it is. Give me some feedback if you feel you could suggest something that would improve the system. This is, as I said, mainly geared towards the newer traders, but hopefully it will help all of you. And yeah, I'll look forward to putting out another video soon as well. Good luck trading out there.